This isn't a Bible thought. I just woke up like a few seconds ago and I had my Bible right there, but for some reason I needed to do this. So yesterday I came across this Instagram post and it was kind of like a words of encouragement thing, right? And it helped me a little. It was about trusting God and like waiting on God and just knowing that God is going to like turn your situation around, right? For me, it speaks to me in my own way. But then it was just like, to receive this, send it to another sister that may need to hear this. And in my first, I was just like, well, I don't have that many people, females, to send this to. But for some reason, when I thought about it, the first person that came to mind was one of my actual biological sisters, right? One that I don't really talk to like that, right? There's no problem. There's like no beef. It's just we don't really communicate. And I was hesitant because my thought was, I don't want to send this to her because I think that she would probably get like annoyed, or like her being receptive to me sending this, she would probably, like, I had already assumed that she would be like, why'd you send me this? My assumption was already that she might get annoyed with me for sending her this because, like, some people are not really big on like the whole like chain messages and chain emails and chain and like Instagram post, like stuff like that, when they be like, send this to 10 people, that type of thing. A lot of people aren't like really big on that. So I personally like stopped doing that when I used to do that in high school, and I intentionally just stopped doing it because people get annoyed with that, right? And so I was kind of scared to send it to her because I thought that maybe she might be annoyed because she might think, well, this isn't really one of those like real things of God, or that I was scared that she was going to criticize me for sending her this, right? I don't know why, but I was scared to. So I almost didn't send it to her, right? And I was just like, nah, I'll just repost it or something. But then I had the thought anyway of like, send it to her anyway, right? The fear of sending it to her because I'm thinking she's going to be upset with me for like just kind of like sending her some BS, right? But I felt the need to send it to her anyway, even though I was scared to do it because it felt like, be obedient, listen to what I'm telling you to do, right? And I'm just like, well, I don't want to send it, but I feel like maybe I should send it anyway, because maybe it's me being obedient to what God is telling me to do. Maybe this little small voice in my head is God telling me to send this to her. Maybe she was placed in my mind for a reason. And if I don't do it, then I'm being disobedient, even though I'm scared to do it. I don't want to do it because I'm scared to do it, because I'm feeling like she's going to have an issue with me, or she's going to think a certain bad way about me for sending her this, because maybe she thinks this isn't worthy of her time. And I don't know why I'm thinking this way anyway, but I'm scared to send it to her. But I'm like, I'm going to do it anyway, just because I feel like I'm supposed to do it anyway. I don't want to be disobedient, so I'm going to send it anyway. I sent it, scared out of my mind, because literally some minutes beforehand, there was a post, and it was like, send this to somebody that you care about. And the people that popped up on my mind when I sent it were guys in my past that I care about, that I had strong romantic feelings for. My last situation or my ex, right? Even though we didn't really, I don't call him my ex, I call him my last situation because we didn't really date that long. So I don't really know if I even count this man as my ex. Am I currently about to, like, am I making like my situations on my YouTube Pine? If you guys watch my stupid videos on YouTube about like my relationship problems, Pine, my last situation, and then the dude that I was crazy about in college. I care about him tremendously. When I think about that boy, I care both of them. Like romantically, I care about them a lot. And one of them doesn't like me, I guess. And then the other one just ignores me in general. And then my model friend, who I've been getting close with, right? I sent it to them three because they're the first people that pop up in my mind. And I was also hesitant to send it to the dude that I cared about so much in college because I already know he ignores my messages anyway. So I was like, what's the point of sending this? I don't care about sending it to my last situation /ex because I send it to the account that he doesn't use anymore. He has 2 Instagrams. Well, both of them have 2 Instagrams, but I know for a fact the stuff that I send my ex, he doesn't see or won't check because he already created a new Instagram. And I'm not bold enough to send it to his new Instagram. So I'll just send it to his old Instagram because I know he's not going to see it. But the other guy, I know that he receives my messages. I just know it. He just ignores it. So I was hesitant to send it to him. But I was like, do it anyway. Or the thought in my head said, do it anyway. Even though I didn't want to. I felt uneasy about it because I'm just like, what's the point of sending it to these people when they already kind of made they statement real clear. It's screw me, right? They didn't treat me kindly. One of them is acting as if I did something to him, playing victim and not holding accountability for his actions that caused our breakup. But we're saying that it's my fault. And I feel some animosity towards just, because I don't like that. If I can sit up here and apologize to you and say sorry for things that I think I did wrong, that I can understand that hurt your feelings, why can't you do the same? And both of them are the same age, and they're both younger than me, so that's what I get. But the point of it is my hesitancy, the feeling of what's the point of sending it to these people? These people don't care about me. These people don't even like me like that. And I had the same revelation with my own sister, right? Or not even a revelation. It was not a revelation. I had the same assumption about my sister. However, the moment I sent it to her and kind of like just scrolled past, got out the app or whatever, literally a few minutes later, she messages me back. And her response is just like, wow, I actually really need to hear this. Like, because of a situation that I'm going on at my job. Not too, almost seconds later, her response was, I needed to hear that. And the fact that you just sent me that. It was like a right on time. And there was a part of me that was excited. It was a part of me that was happy because it's something that I didn't expect. I was so scared to do something that quite literally God was telling me to do because I thought, well, these people are going to judge me for it. Or this person's not going to like me for it. Or that me and this person don't really talk or get along. This person's going to ignore me. This person's going to block me. This person's going to cuss me out. Or whatever the case may be, right? Sorry. My phone stopped because of storage. Somehow. And because of that, it makes me hesitant. It makes me fearful. But doing it anyway. You never know what it might mean to the next person. You never know who you could be speaking to. You never know what a person is going through and what they need to hear and what they need as a confirmation. So the point, I think, is don't you not be obedient to what God is telling you to do or what God might be telling you to do out of your own fear, because your obedience can cost for someone else. And your obedience might help encourage somebody else. Your obedience might be the key to someone else making their move. Right? If I wouldn't have sent that message to my sister, what if she would have been discouraged about something in her job that could have made her make another decision that she wasn't supposed to make? Because you were scared of what she might think of you. That's another thing. It ain't about you. It's never about you. And I think we all need to get that through our heads as people. It's always about a bigger part of a plan for something else. Because somebody's action may create something that will affect somebody else, that will affect somebody else, that will impact somebody else's life, that will cause somebody else to make another movement, or another decision, or another thought that will inspire somebody else to do something that God needs them to do. And I was explaining this to one of my other exes on the phone one day, because I was so mesmerized about how attentive to detail God can be, or is, within the hairs of your head, to the soles of your feet, to your name in itself. The reason that your name is not by accident, right? The things that you care about and the things that you want for your life or want in your life is not by accident. Nothing is by coincidence. Nothing is by accident. Everything quite literally has a purpose. So when people say that dream placed in your heart was for a reason, it really was. Right? And a fun story, I'll try to be quick because of storage. Whoa. Months back, I was on the phone with my ex, my toxic ex. Because sometimes he calls me and we talk about his day, how he's going. I do that with all my exes, except for the last one, because he has issues with me. And he hasn't figured out yet that I'm not his enemy. And he hasn't figured out that, he hasn't figured out who I am yet. Cool. I was on the phone with one of my exes. We were talking. And I brought it up about how God works. He was like, what do you mean by that? And we had a conversation. And I told him how everything doesn't, happen by accident. Everything in detail was made, for a purpose. And I got into names. Because we all know we be getting stuck on them names in the Bible. We all do it. We all read it like, and then he sent blah, 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 to go do this in the land of blah, 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 because them names be like, what? We all know. We all do it. I do it. Right? And I've been in the process of not doing it. It's kind of why I'm still on the chapter of Isaiah, the last chapter and the last verses, because I'm looking at all these names and I'm like, I don't know what any of these names mean. I don't know what any of these places are. But you quite literally have to take the time to look them up. You have to go in detail and try to figure out things about them because it was placed there for a reason. And then a lot of the time it makes sense, right? And I'll give an example about it later. But I was talking to my ex and telling him that, your name is important. Your name kind of holds something to your destiny about what you're supposed to be doing in your life, right? And he wanted me to explain what I mean. I gave him an example about how, like, say his name is whatever his name is. And then how his name could be pertaining to his destiny because something placed in his heart or a hobby or whatever the case may be could be one thing which is why he loves one thing. I don't know. So for him, I was like, you know how you like to cook. You've always wanted to do this, right? This was your interest. He's like, yeah. I was like, that's not by accident. That was placed in your heart for a reason. So if you were hypothetically supposed to go start a business or go be a chef or cook something that would place you in a room full of people, that gives you an opportunity to do this for yourself, to do this, and then somehow you end up having this career, then you somehow meet an individual, right? Because nobody we meet is by coincidence either. There's always a reason why you meet up with the people that you meet with, you interact with, you get to know. There's always a reason. I was like, what if you just randomly meet this one person who's going through so many things, they have problems, and you show this one act of kindness to this person for no reason whatsoever. That one act of kindness. He knows who you are, and you inspire this guy to go do something for himself. And now, because you did that one act of kindness, because you had this one interest that possessed you to aspire or chase after something, to go get a career that put you in a position, that put you in a room to be able to do this, that made you meet this person who is now inspired by you and your act of kindness, that you have influenced him to go chase his own dreams, to do something, and whatever he was supposed to create will help the next person do something into their calling, and that some person ends up changing the world because of it, right? I was like, that's how detailed God thinks and how God works with each and every one of us, right? I was like, down to your name of saying, this is who you are. We quite literally looked up my friend or / ex's name just to find out that his name, in fact, does mean, it revolves around cooking. And he was so taken back by that. He was like, yo, that's crazy. He's like, now I feel like I should. Like, I need to go get back into this because that's crazy. What if you're right, is what he said. He's like, what if I am? Like, I'm like, ain't no what if, nigga. Like, what you mean? God don't make no what ifs. He ain't tripping. Mind you, this boy wanted to be a chef. Any job he's taken has been like at a fast food restaurant or something. He intentionally applies for stuff. So you clearly still have the heart for it. Right? Nothing happens by accident. Something's placed in your heart for a reason. Whether it be a dream of what you want to do with your life, whether it be a person. I learned that I think about my last situation a lot. But not in a bad way. Not like in the, I'll be mad at you because you really just messed with my time and messed me over way. More like a sad I miss you. Or I wonder what you're doing. Or I hope you're doing well. Or a worriedness that he's not doing well. Sometimes a person is on your mind because God wants you to pray for them. So a few months ago, he was on my mind heavy. One of those months I was blowing up his phone, getting left undelivered, if I'm being completely honest. So we're being transparent. But previous month, that was not the case. He came on my mind across a couple times, and I just prayed for him. And I prayed that he would seek a true and genuine relationship with God. Because it's something that I wanted to do together. I wanted us both to do it together. But that didn't work out. He never answered his phone. So I just started praying, like, put him in a room. Place him around people that have relationships with you. Influence him to do so. So he seeks you. I'm upset with him. But I know he's your child. And I know he don't know better. And so I'm not trying to be mad at him. I'm not his enemy. And I hope he knows that one day. But in the meantime, shift his heart posture. Not just towards me, but to accept you. Because looking at him, I'll think he's just going through the motions. And what I learned from my last situation is that there's a lot of things about him that I need to work on within myself. All the issues that I had with him, his communication, his consistency, were issues that I'm pretty sure God said, this is the issue that I have with you. I sat up complaining one day and was like, God, I like him. Quite literally, why can't you talk to me? Quite literally, why don't you want to spend time with me? How are we in a relationship and you can't even pick up the phone? I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not even asking for you to talk to me on the phone all day. Because sometimes we would. I'm simply asking for a good morning text. A text throughout the day so I knew you thought about me. And then let me know that you made it home safe. If you're tired, just tell me, hey, babe, I had a long day. I'm real sleepy. I think I'm finna KO. I hope you had a good day. Good night. I love you. That's all I wanted. Why was that so hard? I'll literally give you the world. I just need to know you care. I need to be comfortable and secure in knowing that you genuinely want to be here. And as long as I know you genuinely want to be here, that's all I need. And then I thought about that and said, instantly felt guilty. And I was like, damn. That's exactly how God feels. He don't even want all your time. A little bit in the morning, a little bit throughout the day. Let me know you thought about me at night. And I'm okay with that. That's all I'm asking from you. And I instantly felt like, dang. Conviction. But I will say I appreciate my ex for that, because I learned that about myself, and it's like, all right, you also need to work on your maturity levels when it comes to your emotions. He real petty. He real immature when it comes to how he handles his emotions. And I realized, dang, you did that a lot in high school. And you occasionally still do that. All right, God, I need to work on it. I got it. Thank you. Yeah, really put it in your face, too. And I've been praying for him. I need to keep praying for him. I need to pray for him more, because I've been slacking just a little. And the prayers will be shorter than what they were for him. But I think it's going okay. Like, I still have him on social media. On a social media. And I see that he's been in church a lot. And he doesn't have a choice. He's a drummer. But it's just made me happy to know that he's at least in the room, versus going outside to the clubs that he would be doing every freaking weekend. And he's still doing that, but recently he hasn't been. So it's made me happy to know, to see. So my point is, nothing happens by accident. Everything is for a reason. If you get the feeling to do something, it might be for a reason. That don't mean every time you get a feeling, follow it, because don't follow your feelings. That's what a foolish person does. But check back with God. Or maybe he'll speak again to confirm this is like what I meant for you to do, right? Because there'll be times I'll think to do something, and then I'll be like, God, I'm scared to, and then I'll walk away. We've all done it. Out of fear, hesitation. Don't even know what doors could have opened from that alone, because you are scared. So don't let your fear stop your obedience, which was the biggest point of this. It's 11:44, so I'm going to politely read the rest of the names in this Bible, go wash up, and get ready for work. I made this longer than what I wanted it to be, but stay obedient. This is to me, this is to you, this is to whomever that sees this. Stay obedient. Don't let your fear get in the way of your obedience. Don't let the fear of someone else's perception of you or your intent get in the way of you doing something that God told you to do. And if you're sure that God told you to do it, just do it. Even if you don't want to. Because there are many times where we wanted to do something that we was told to do, that we know we was told to do. Okay, bye. Dab.